Hey guys, Geoff right here from PistonFist. How you going? Here with Crispy from Heavy Mag. We're going to talk PistonFist stuff.
Beautiful, Jeffrey. Thanks for joining us, brother.
Too good. I'm stoked to be here, Crispy. Cheers for having me.
Always a pleasure, mate. So, Piston Fist premiere your new track "Repent" this Friday, October the 11th. So, how you feeling about it?
Yeah, really stoked. By far the heaviest one that we've written. So yeah, really, really stoked and really keen to hear some feedback from it.
And you mentioned that it is the heaviest one that you've ever written, mate. So, what made you decide to go heavier? Like you've got your niche in the hard rock scene where you are. So, why go heavier?
Mate, it wasn't. I suppose the hard rock thing was probably a little bit Wazza, our original guitarist. He wrote a bunch of our first tracks. We got a bit of a new lineup, and that's the school we're from. When it comes down to it, myself, Maddie, even Sherv, like we're Australian heavy rock all day long, but we're still Pantera, Sepultura, Machine Head. That's the shit. Personally, that's the shit I grew up on proper. So that influence was always gonna come out sooner or later, and I just think it's just come out. We've got a bunch of new tracks that we've written that are going. That's the first track off the album, um, and we got a bunch of new tracks that we've written that have kicked back a little bit. Um, but yeah, there's I don't know. I've said it from the start, and I really like the idea of writing and playing songs that you enjoy, not sticking to a particular niche or whatever because that's what you should do or that's where you've been pigeonholed. I've just gone, let's just do what we enjoy doing, and if this is what comes out when we're writing songs and we're all grinning like dickheads while we're playing it, then let's fucking do it. You won't find any black metal or death metal with us, but this is pretty much as heavy as it gets, I think.
Well, and she also comes with a pretty cool music video too, bro. So, tell us what's going on there.
Yeah, we worked pretty hard on that one. Kyle worked really, really hard on that one. He busted his balls. Um, we found a place that we probably, I'm not too sure how legals roll with this, but we made our way in there, and it was a really, really cool place to run the video. And yeah, I'm really stoked with the outcome. It came up really good.
So, you mentioned that it is part of a new album cycle, bro. What more can you tell us about that?
Yeah, that's the plan, man. We've got a we got a bit of stuff demoed. Um, and we're just working our bums off behind the scenes again now. This is what you're doing it. We released that one. We've toured it. We released Redline and toured it a bit, and now we've got to get something else. So we're pushing for June, July ish. Hopefully, we can get something out then, and it'll all come together really, really nice.
So you mentioned the album Redline, which was your debut album released last year. So was it received as well as you hoped?
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. I just did a little bit of homework before the interview, and I read a bit of Jimmy Glister's review, and it was an absolute pisser. So yeah, we did get some really good reviews. It sold really well in Europe. We sold out. I should have taken more copies. I kind of stuffed up there. Um, so yeah, I'm really, really stoked. We don't have a great deal of copies left of actual, vinyl. But yeah, I'm super stoked with it, and just we're all really keen now to write again. There's a couple of new guys in the band since we wrote Redline. Everybody's got different influences, so I'm expecting something special.
So what lessons learned out of making Redline do you think you'll take into the next one?
That's interesting. I'm not sure if it's lessons as such, but I've put the guitar down now. We've got a full-time rhythm guitarist in there, so that's taken a bit of pressure and a bit of extra work off me. I don't have to worry too much about um, two things when I go in the studio. I can just worry about nailing vocals. That's a bit of a win. And we had two different drummers work on Redline as well. We're just going to be nice and solid with Ryan this time. Ryan's been a great addition to the band. He's working really hard. The same with Sherv. He's busting balls. So yeah, I think if anything, it should be an easier process after rolling the first whole album. We should
Should.
get through it with no dramas. Yeah.
Now, you're not too long back from your first international tour through the UK and Europe with Sid Soto and Chaosis, mate. Like, how did that go?
Yeah, it was amazing. Europe was dope. I cannot say it enough. They've just got their shit together when it comes to live shows. People going out, people turning up to shows. We had good crowds on Tuesday nights in Europe. It was ridiculous. For none of us were super well known over there, so we had to work to pull a crowd, and they turned up. And the amount that you get looked after in comparison to Brisbane, like we turned up to shows and they just, here's the food, here's the piss, what do you need? What do you want? That they were just amazing. And I know it's a money thing over here. The money's not in the venues to look after bands that well, but yeah, it was a bit not hard to come back to, but it's an eye opener to say the least, and brilliant. We self funded it, so it hurt financially, but well worth it. I don't think any of the boys have got any regrets. And it was well worth it, and can't wait to go back. I just all of the boys just touring's what it's about, isn't it? So we were stoked.
And your music was really well received over there from all reports. Give us your best tour story.
Oh, best tour story. There's a lot. Mate, we had an absolute cracker in Czech. The guy that owned the venue, him and his father built the venue by hand with these big rocks and shit. It was insane. They built it on like the idea of a Viking hall, and it was ridiculous. And there was a jacuzzi for the bands out the back. Everything was laid out ridiculously well. Probably the best crowd that we had in Europe was at that venue. And yeah, the best venue we played with, the best crowd, with probably the best or the most we've been looked after. That place was exceptional, and they partied. They didn't shut up till about 7:30 in the morning, and a few of the crew had to walk back. I won't say names, but they were munted. Like that was the party. That was the absolute pisser right there. It was epic. And it's one of them venues that, if we were to get to certain heights and we absolutely killed it, that would be a venue that I would work hard on going back to every time we went to Europe, no matter what. I would go back and look after that guy as well as he looked after us, kind of thing. Like he was saying, he had Ginger in there a few years ago, and they absolutely killed it, but now he can't get them back because they're at that height. So yeah, I'd like to, if it was ever big dreams, rah rah rah, but if we got to that height, this is a place that I would go back to say thank you, and to pack his venue and make sure he turned over some money, because the guy was an absolute champion. And it was like that everywhere, Crispy. Like, this guy, the boys were in the jacuzzi having a drink, and the guy that owned the venue came over and said, "You guys right for a drink? What do you want?" And our sound guy said, "I'd love a shot of Jaeger." And oh mate just turned around and went, "Bottle?" And he goes, "No, just a shot will be good." And he went, "Bottle," and came back with a bottle of Jaeger for him. This is like looked after proper.
Yeah.
Mm.
You've also recently signed with rising Australian label XMusic. So tell us about that partnership and what it opens up for PistonFist.
Yeah, we're super stoked with it. Tim. He works hard. He's already looked after us as far as the Alice Cooper shows, Smashing Pumpkins. Jane's Addiction. That them shows were huge for us, and we're very, very lucky to be able to play on them shows. And yourself and Chris had yourself and Tim had quite a bit to do with that. So he's already proven himself to us as far as we're concerned. His work ethic's there. And yeah, really looking forward to having a good time and working hard with him. It's funny, it just seems like, oh, now you've signed your contract. Now we just got to work harder to make it all work, which isn't it's not necessarily a bad thing, but we just can't take our foot off that pedal. We've got to push hard and make sure that we've got a product for Tim to be able to promote. That's what we're after.
Now we're running out of time, bro, but you've got a few shows coming up. The first is the Dimebag Memorial Show at the Back Room in Brisbane on December 7th. And then you've got Monk and Pedal Festival on January 4th with Like Thieves, Area 7, the Punk Rock Hillbilly, and more. So they both sound like pretty cool shows.
Yeah, looking very forward to both of them. We're not going to be able to play a great deal of shows in Brisbane next year because we're going to be really busy. So we're looking forward to both of them. The Pantera show, the Dimebag tribute, that's free entry, so we're expecting a pretty big night on that one. And then Monk and Pedal, that's a cracking lineup, and Brightside's always a win, outside and inside there at Brightside. So yeah, both of them shows should be absolute pisses.
That's it, mate. But in the meantime, PistonFist have your new single Repent premiering this Friday. She's an absolute cracker. It is heavy as balls, as Jeffrey said before, but best of luck with it, bro, and we'll catch up soon.
Yeah, cheers, Chris. Thanks for having me, man, and get your ears on for Repent, legends.